Well, good afternoon, everyone. May the good Lord bless you, richly bless you. You hear the rain coming down on the roof? Probably not. I say my forge is getting good and hot there. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a bending fork that goes in your anvil. I've got one right here that I made several years ago, but I need one that's a little bit closer together that will fit down in my anvil. The hardie hole in my anvil is 3/4. I don't have any 3/4 stock. This one right here it fits very, very loosely, and it was just a piece of scrap metal that I just happened to have around and turned it into a bending fork. Also, you can stick them in a vise. But for bigger projects, when you're bending a scroll or something, a huge circle or something like that, you want them in your anvil so that you can walk around it and do a better job bending it. So what I'm going to use this morning, you guys, is I went to the 5 and dime store over in Bland this morning, and I purchased just a chunk of iron. This stuff right here, I think, is either 7/8 or 1 inch. So it won't take much forging to get it. This right here is almost 1 inch, about 7/8. These things are old. They're old rock mason chisels. That's what they used them for. You can see it's very, very, very mushroomed on the end, which will make a really good post to go down in my anvil. And then I will weld a fork onto the top of it. Now I could forge one on there, but I got a specific reason why I'm not going to do that, okay? So we're going to get this thing really good and hot. We're going to forge it out until it fits that 3/4 inch hole really, really good. With a good bottom on it, we'll cut it off up to about 2 inches. Then I will forge a U-shaped piece of metal, excuse me, out of 1/2 inch material so that I can use it for a bending fork to start scrolls and whatever else I'm going to bend around it. So stand by, let's get that forged. Now you all, I've said this before, but I'll say it again, if you're ever in Bland, Virginia, we have a store over there. I call it the 5 and dime, but it's a very huge place there right off of 52. You turn left right as you go into town. You either turn left and go towards the Brushy Mountain overlook, or you turn right and go to the courthouse. But this lady has a store there where she buys up estates. And any tools, I've got all kind of hammers and stuff and hatchets and stuff that I've bought there. But I found this really, really nice file in there this morning. Hardly been used. K&F, that right there is an expensive file. If you went to buy that file right there, let's say at one of the hardware stores, I would say that would cost you $30. I got it for $5. And it's really in good shape, hardly been used at all. That's for blacksmithing right there, you guys. That's for really moving some metal. And anyway, if you're ever in Bland, Virginia, be sure and stop at, I think it's called Brackeen's. Everybody in town knows what it is. Just tell somebody you're looking for the 5 and dime store in Bland and they'll show you where it's at. By the way, if you're ever in town and you can message me some way or another, I'd really come out there and go shopping with you in that store, because I go there all the time. Now you can go on Amazon or any of these other sites and you can buy a custom made bending fork, and that bending fork will cost you $100. A hand forged bending fork to fit your anvil hole will cost you $100. That's why you want to pick up your scrap and do it yourself. Since this is already pointed on the end, we're going to go ahead and establish this size that we're looking for. And it doesn't have to go down in there very far. I hope you can see what I'm doing right now. Now I know you guys had seen me use my chisel plate. Well, my chisel plate was always shifting back and forth while I was hitting it. I made a 3/4 inch, hammered a 3/4 inch stud to go down in that hardie hole. Now that chisel plate can't move when I'm hammering on it. Chisel plate's for cutting steel so you don't hit the top of your anvil with your chisel. But if you've got a piece of steel that you're working on your anvil with, there's the way to do it. Put that thing right down in that hardie hole, and there you are. All right. Let's do this again. Since my anvil, you guys, was used, the hole is really wallered out in there. I don't know, this was at a garage and people didn't know what they was doing. It looks like they took a torch and worked on that anvil. See where we're going with that now. It's not, you can even see all the bad places in the hole there when you do that, you guys. It's almost going to be a custom fit. So there's really not that much metal left to, unless I was to mushroom it out, which I'm not going to do, okay? I'm not going to mushroom this out. So it seems like it's going to fit right there pretty good. It's really good and tight. All right, that looks pretty good, you guys. Now what we're going to do, let's determine how high we want that fork to come up there. That's just a little bit too high right there. So, we're going to bring it up to about this height right here. In other words, that's going to be the bottom of it right there. So I'll take that measurement. All right, you guys, off camera. We'll take that cutoff wheel over and we'll cut that piece of steel off right there. That's the best way to do it. I'll get it really good and square. I don't have to do no grinding on it to get it to work. I went ahead and cooled it. And one of the things that you can do, I'll show you guys this. And I coat it in water for a reason. One of the things you can do, that tip right there, let's see if it bends, it's soft, low carbon steel. If it breaks off, it's high carbon. And of course, I don't know what it is, okay? But we're going to do this right here on video. I think we're going to do it on video. What I'm saying is, one of the ways to find out, you don't know what carbon content that steel is to just go ahead and get it up cherry red and put it and cool it in cold water. And we'll see if it breaks off, it's high carbon steel. If it bends, it's low carbon steel. See how that bent right there? So we know that that's low carbon. That's one of the ways you do your test on a piece of metal that you don't know what it is. All right, you all, there's what we're looking for right there, okay? Now I'm going to bend a piece of metal here. Here is some of that scrap that I found up there at the bridge the other day. I have no idea what them is, probably some type of an anchor. We're going to forge a U-shape that we weld with the arc welder right onto this thing right here. We're going to have a very, very tight fork in that thing. Is what we're looking for. If it's hot enough or not, you guys. See what I just done right there? We're going to make one of these, but it's going to be, this gap is going to be a whole lot skinnier than that one is right there. It's nice to have that together there, guys, because I don't have to have a handle. I don't have to hold that with a pair of tongs yet. So in a minute we're going to take it over to the vise. See how much easier that would be, you guys, if this was formed to where it would fit the hardie hole. It wouldn't be dancing around. Okay, so there's what we're looking for. Now I will cut it off. I'm going to leave these things on this piece, you guys, for a very specific reason. Okay? I'll give you a shot of what it looks like right there now. We're just going to open this up. So right there, that's all we're looking for. See that? Now we will weld this piece onto our stud over here. It goes in the hardie hole. Looks pretty decent to me. I don't know about you. I'm going to head you guys and weld that off camera. All right, you all, can you see that? There's our bending fork. Now what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to take it and heat it up again, not critical, and I'm going to quench the thing in oil, okay? Now, what I use, guys, is, let me turn you up here just a little bit more, is I usually use 6013 Easy Arc or 7018 for some of this rusty stuff. But there's what that looks like. And that right there is about 5/8 of an inch, you guys. So that's going to make a really, really good bending fork. We're going to bend something in it here just in a minute too, okay? We ain't just going to make it and then not let you see me bend something in it. I just about lost my fire there, so I had to stir it back up. that good and hot there. But there's $100 right there, you guys. If you don't believe it, you look at custom-made forks. Now, I could have split this square piece, you guys, and made that bend into that fork, okay? I could have done it that way. But I wanted this heavy-duty one for a specific reason. So I'm going to go ahead and lay it right here in the fire and start getting her hot. It'll also keep it from rusting as well. There we go. How about turn my anvil over there? How many of you folks see a set of jaws of tong jaws right there? Okay, see that what I just did? That's the bend in the handles or the jaws themselves in a set of tongs. If that's what you're going to make. Really, really easy to do. Bend it one way, the distance where you want it bent, then you turn it around and you bend it the other way, the way that you want it bent. Let's say you're going to make yourself a chain. All you got to do now is cut it off right here and you're ready to... There we go. One more heat. Your own custom-made bending fork that fits in your anvil, you guys. And since my hole is not perfect, you have to put it in there just exactly the way you hammered it in there. I sort of like that. I think that turned out to be pretty good. A pretty good deal. So, there's one way of saving yourself some money. Find the scrap material. All of this is pretty much scrap material right here. I mean, I bought that thing over there for $2. Really, to anybody else, it's just a piece of scrap. But that's how you do it, you guys. With that, may the good Lord bless you. Until next time, so long for now.